paper with a number written on it. So you can choose any. So, keep this number and you will need it a bit later. So, today we are going to have a very special lesson dedicated to one of the most famous poets and playwrights in British literature, William Shakespeare. So, William Shakespeare was born in Stratford-upon-Avon. This is the city in Britain. And he was born in 1564. And his father, John Shakespeare, was a very simple man. He was a glove maker. So we can see that William Shakespeare came from a very simple family, very simple British family. Then he wanted to study literature and grammar, so he went to a grammar school where he studied not only English and not only grammar, but also Latin language. Then he married Anne Hathaway, and they had 3 children, Susan and the twins, Judith and Hamnet. After which, William moved to London, where he founded the theatre. This is a famous theatre called the Globe. The Globe Theatre was famous for the thing that William Shakespeare's sonnets and plays and many of his tragedies and comedies were performed in this theatre. He wrote about 38 plays and 154 sonnets. Today we are going to speak about some of his sonnets. So we have 3 sonnets. We chose 3 of them, which you will read. So we will start with sonnet 18. You come up here and your classmates have the chance to listen to it.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day, now but more lovely and more temperate? Rough is to shake the darling buds of May, and summer leaf has all to show the date. Some time to hold the eye of heaven shines, and is his gold complexion dim, and every fair from face entirely flies. By chance of nature changing course and trade, but the internal summer shall not fade, not lose position, or that there through all west. Not shall dew break through wonders in his shade, then in eternal life to time to growest. So long as men are brave, or eyes can see, so long will this and this give life to see.
Thank you very much. So, what are the topics of this sonnet? What is it about? Anna?
About nature.
It is about nature, the beauty of nature. Good. What else?
His love to nature.
His love of nature, right? Dasha?
This song about wonderful life.
About wonderful life, about about the fact that our life is very valuable, right? Good. What else? Which time of the year?
Summer.
About summer, right? About good and pleasant weather. Good. So, what is it about, and what is the idea of this sonnet? What's the main idea? What did the author want to say?
He want to show.
So, now, we pass on to sonnet 66. Nastya, Kostya, it's your turn. Come up here.
Tired of which of this for restful death I cry, as to behold deserted begun war, and needing nothing trimmed and joyous, and pure as fate unhappily forceful, and gilded Hanover shamefully misplaced, and and maiden
Virtue.
virtue rably estimated, and right perfection wrongly described.
And strength by leaping sway disabled, and art maintained tied by authority, and folly, doctor-like control and skill, and simple troth miscalled simplicity.
And captive.
And the captive good attending the captain ill, tied with all this, from this would I begun, save that to die, I leave my love alone.
Good. Thank you very much. You can take your seats. So, what are the topics of this sonnet? It is about love. Good. About the tragedy of love. Right. What else? Emma?
About life.
About life. Good. What else? About one special person, right?
Yes.
About a special person who is dear to the poet. What is the idea of the sonnet? What's the main idea?
That this person tired to live in this world, and
Why is he tired? He's tired because he's rude. There are so many bad things in the world, and they all upset him, right? He feels very upset. But
he wanna die.
he wants to die, but
He don't want to leave his family, his friends alone.
right, they are too dear to him, and he can't leave them alone. Good. Now, we have one more sonnet. It is sonnet 130. And before we listen to you, I would like you to listen to this sonnet read by one famous person. So, we will listen to it, and then we will listen to you girls.
Sonnet 130 by William Shakespeare. My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground.
Right, so this is an example for you to follow. So, now we're going to listen to you.
My mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun? If hair be rice, black wires grow in her head. I have seen roses dyed red and white, but no such roses see I on her cheeks. And in some perfumes is the more delight.
That in the breeze that from my mistress reeks, I love to hear her speak. Yet, well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress when she walks treads on the ground, and yet, by heaven, I think my love is rare, as any she be light with false compare.
Good, thank you very much. So, what is the topic of this sonnet? What is it about?
About love.
About love. What else?
About a woman who loved woman who beautiful.
Who is beautiful?
But not perfect.
Perfect. She's not perfect, but still, for the poet, she's very beautiful. She is probably the most beautiful, right? What is the idea? What's the main idea? Dasha?
Show that not all people is perfect.
Not all people are perfect. Actually, we are all not perfect, right? But still, it doesn't make us bad people, right? Good. So, what is the sonnet? We had an example of 3 sonnets, and we can see that a sonnet is a verse, right? It's a poem containing how many lines? 14 lines, right? So, the first 12 lines tell us some story, right? And the last 2 do what? They contain the moral, right? The moral or the idea of the whole sonnet. So, now we have one more thing to read. So, this thing is a very special illustration to a famous tragedy. A famous tragedy written by William Shakespeare, the tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. And I think you all know that there is a famous monologue, Hamlet's monologue. So, now is the turn of your numbers. You all got a number at the beginning of the lesson, and you have the monologue. Now, your number is the number of the line you are going to read. We will start with whom?
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is number in the mind to suffer.
The slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Or to take arms against all troubles.
And by closing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by sleep to say we end.
Without even the thousand natural shocks.
The flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation.
Divided to be rich, to die, to sleep.
To sleep, perchance to dream, all will be right. For in this sleep of death, what dreams may come, when we have shuffled of this mortal coil.
Must give us pause, their respect, that make us calamity of so long life.
Good. So, this is the part of Hamlet's monologue. So, what is it about?
About life?
It is about life, but in what kind?
Tragedy.
It is a tragedy, right? So it's a rather gloomy text. So the whole tragedy, Hamlet, is about the revenge for his father's death. So in this monologue, he's talking about what? What is he talking about? He compares 2 things,
To die.
death and life. And what is more important? What does he find more important and more exciting? He finds life more valuable and more dear, right? Because it is the most valuable thing we have. But still, he compares death to what? To die, to sleep. So death is compared to sleep, to dreaming, right? Good. Why do you think it happens? He wants to find what? He wants to find the answers to all his questions. And if he can't do it while he is alive, he tries to find these answers in death. So that's the clue. Now, I would like you to make some conclusions. What did you learn today about William Shakespeare? And was it interesting, Vlada?
Yes, it was interesting, and we learned many things about him, about his life, about his work,
Good.
and his family.
His family as well. Good. What else? What else can you say, Roshana? What did you remember? What was the most memorable moment for you?
He was play the favorites, and he writes about life, and he's a
Tragedy?
tragedy.
Right. He writes many poems and sonnets and things that are rather gloomy. Right? They're not happy at all.
Is interesting person because he write about all problems of life, and I think that he was understand that
He understood.
understood about he wrote.
Of course, he understood what he wrote. Good. Do you understand it? So, do you think? What do you think? Is he an old-fashioned writer, or can we still read his sonnets and poems and find them interesting today?
Yes, probably.
So, Nastya, what do you think? Are his poems interesting today, or are they old-fashioned?
I think they are so interesting.
They are still interesting, I think so. Good. So, I would like to thank you all for our today's lesson.